When Dick Cheney says that he can't vote for Donald Trump because he is too extreme, too far right, and too dangerous to be American president, you really want to listen. Yes, on Friday, Dick Cheney announced that he planned on voting for Kamala Harris in November, rebuking his own Republican Party. A statement from Dick Cheney cited Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election. And Dick Cheney's daughter, Liz Cheney, called Donald Trump an unrecoverable catastrophe yesterday and urged fellow Republicans to vote for the Democratic nominee Kamala Harris also in November's election. She said, "We see it on a daily basis, somebody who is willing to use violence in order to attempt to seize power, to stay in power, someone who represents unrecoverable catastrophe. Frankly, in my view, we have to do everything possible to ensure that he's not re-elected," Liz Cheney said in her interview on ABC News this week, the network that is hosting the debate on Tuesday night. Cheney also reaffirmed her endorsement of Harris and urged other prominent Republicans who have stated that they plan on writing a third option rather than vote for Trump to cast their ballots for the Democrat instead. She said, "At the end of the day, you have to wrestle with your own conscience when you're in the voting booth. And I would expect that you will see far more Republicans and independents when the time comes and when they've got to make that decision, make the right decision. Given the closeness of this election," she said, "particularly if you're going to find yourself voting in a swing state, then you've got to take the extra step if you really do recognize the threat that Donald Trump poses. Then it's not enough to simply say, 'I'm not going to vote for him.'" And this is something that we need to make absolutely clear, is that whilst the rhetoric is Trump is dangerous, he's anti-democratic, he is a threat to American system of governance, none of that is just to be critical of Republicans. This is not about conservatism or republicanism traditionally. This is about one man who knows no rules, who has no boundaries, and that is not a good thing. You know, the idea of someone being a strong man, a dictator, might seem like something amusing for the movies or for history, but to actually see it as your reality in the country that is supposed to be considered the free West, one of the great democracies, to have someone bring it down, to crash and burn the idea of you getting a free vote, because that's really what it means. I mean, you can like or dislike Donald Trump, but surely you prefer the idea that a free vote is a fair vote. And the problem with Trump is he's so drawn to people like Vladimir Putin. Putin has been in power for 23 years because people do not get a free vote. And that is the way Trump would do it. And, you know, the evidence is clear. He's already today saying that there is fraud going on, that the Democrats are causing fraud. Democrats don't stand for that stuff. Democrats believe in secure, safe, fair elections. The concept of democracy and Democrats go hand in hand. And that's why the vote is so clear for so many in November. You choose democracy, you choose Democrats. You choose an oligarchy, you choose despotism, you choose authoritarianism, you choose Donald Trump. That is the stark decision that you have to make. You want the country to continue being famously free, or you want the country to turn into a nation like Russia or North Korea or China, where you are not free to vote, you're not free to love who you love, and you're often not free to leave. And what's so sad about this is, it's Donald Trump is such a joke. He's so ridiculous that people think that the whole concept of the election is in itself just entertainment. It's for television. It's to own the libs. And it really isn't. This is serious. People are dying. I just want to interrupt myself for a moment to ask you to support me and independent journalism by becoming a member of this YouTube channel. Click join just below. It starts at just $3 a month, and it would be really helpful because at the moment things have never been more complex and more dangerous with the rise of fascism and the fall of US democracy. So I'm going to do my best to put these messages and this analysis out every single day, but I really need your help to do that. If you don't want to join the YouTube channel and you're already on Patreon, you can sign up for my Patreon as well at patreon.com/5minutenews. Thank you. He doesn't want there to be mask mandates if there's a future pandemic. Do you understand what that means? It's not about telling people you must wear a mask. It's about politicizing public health. You will suffer if Donald Trump wins. He has no plan to reduce taxes for regular people. None whatsoever. His plan, as was last time around, is to reduce taxes on corporations. That's his only interest. He uses American people who buy into this concept that he gives them, that he likes them, he loves them, he's there for them, he represents them, when he doesn't do any of those things. He pretends. It's a performance. And I understand that it is easy to fall into that trap. And this is not me saying this because I am a liberal. It's me saying it because I am pro-democracy. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, the freedom to express yourself. Donald Trump claims to be a First Amendment guy, and yet he'll take all of those away. And he said it, that he'll remove licenses from news networks that don't cover him fairly, that there'll be a national abortion ban. That's absolutely his intention. He takes ownership for the reversal of Roe. It's not a joke. It's deadly serious. And whilst in the debate he might present this strongman appearance, inside is a weak, scared baby. Somebody who deeply knows that they are flawed, that they don't have intelligence, they're not smart, and they're not actually able to do the job. And that is why he projects everything. Everything he's feeling, he projects onto Kamala Harris and the Democrats. The proof is that under the Democrats, life is fairer. Life is more equal. Life is more representative of the rest of the world. It is more diverse. It is more integrated. And it cuts people more slack, supports people when they need support, and doesn't turn their backs on the very poorest. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.